welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, I have the pleasure of dealing with people who I've known for years and who surely gained my respect. With me is Anthony Bonna. Anthony?
Hi.
And he is running for City Council District 3. Get it right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. It's like those long things I never remember. Okay, so before I go any further, what on God's green earth would make you want to get into politics?
Well, for me, the heart of it is service. I grew up in Port St. Lucie. I was raised by a single mom working two jobs. And, during that time, I had a lot of organizations and groups that helped me. I was a Boy Scout. I was a little brother in Big Brothers Big Sisters. I attended my church. And there were so many people that invested in me and wanted me to succeed. And so as I grew older and attended high school, I earned a lot of scholarships and was able to attend Georgetown University and earn a finance degree, which kids like me weren't supposed to be able to do. And I was very grateful for that opportunity and the community that invested in me. And so for me, it's about helping the community that helped form me into the man that I am today. One memory I have is the Young Floridian Scholarship, and Mike Brown Sr., who was the president of the local bank, challenged all the Young Floridians that go off, go to college, build great careers, but come back here and help this community. And those words really struck with me, and that's what I'm doing today. So you'll see me do things like I'm on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm on the board of the Education Foundation. I'm on the parish council at my church, and it's investing in those things that invested in me. That's really important to me. I think the city council is the next level of that service.
Okay, so because you guys know that politics is not my thing, so what happens from city council moving forward? Where would you go? Are you looking to move past that, or is that going to be your ultimate goal in politics?
You can never predict the future. Politics is about timing and where you can make a difference, and the kind of support that you have. But I will say this: my heart is in the community. I want to be able to build a family here and to be active in the organizations and causes that are very important to me, and so I think the best place for me to do that, especially at this time in my life, is in Port St. Lucie City Council. And we can never forget that the government that affects us the most is the local government.
Right.
Washington D.C., they're all fighting with each other. Tallahassee, but the closer you get to where you live, that's going to have the most impact. And so that's where I want to be. I want to actually make impact and make change. And so I'd be grateful to have the opportunity to serve on the council.
So when you run for president, we shall get mad at you for leaving the community?
Well, I'm not making any announcements.
Okay. What, in District 3, what needs to change?
Right. And so the way I look at questions like that is every citizen, whether they're in District 3, District 1, District 2, District 4, they can all vote in this race. So we really represent all the citizens of Port St. Lucie. And so I like to take a citywide view of my approach to the job, because every citizen has a vested interest in the decisions that I'm making. So I'm looking for things that benefit the overall city, keeping us the safest large city in Florida. So I'm proud to have the backing of our officers and to give them the resources that they need. Lowering our tax rate, because I hear a lot of complaints from citizens on the campaign trail about the heavy tax burden, especially seniors and veterans, and so reducing that for all of our citizens. Managing our growth smartly, so that we make sure that we have the infrastructure and the jobs to keep up with that growth. These are all things that are very important to me and that I will focus on as a city councilman.
Okay. Out of everything that you said, how does one lower anything like taxes? I mean, look, I know that when I started this company, my price was $1, okay? And then I raised it to $2 and then $3. I could never go back to $2. I just can't financially do it. Can you get those rates lowered? Is it possible?
So here's the approach I would take to the millage rate. I would use the expertise of our city staff, and I would ask them during the budget process. And one of the first questions people ask is, you say you want to lower taxes, what would you cut? And I would use the expertise of our city staff, and I would challenge them, and I would say, as you submit your budget proposals, tell me what you would do with what you're requesting. Tell me what you would do with the same amount of dollars you had last year, and tell me what you would do if we had to reduce your budget by 5%. And that way, the city staff that know the needs of their specific departments can make their recommendations and make their case. So, and then I would make informed decisions, just as families do at the kitchen table. They get all the information, and then they make decisions based on the amount of money that they have. And so, what I would do is I would set giving relief to property owners as a policy proposal, as a policy priority, and I would fund that policy priority, and make decisions based on that information.
And like for me, it's so weird because now I'm getting calls. Well, be prepared to sign up for your Medicare because I got 4 more months and I can sign up for Medicare. I don't know how I got to this point. Never know how I got to almost being 65. But as now a senior, I think about those things. And I think in my life growing up, I think the hardest thing in politics was keeping the budgets lower. And we're going through it in the government now, okay? Because we can't find a balance of how to spend money. Obviously, you're lucky because you don't have to deal with your local people, and they're all really kind of cool, and it's really nice to work with your locals who know you. Up there in Washington, they're dealing with people from all over the place, and nobody can come to terms with anything. I like the fact that you're so community-oriented, and that's the priority. So and I don't want to say that you don't worry about Miami, but it's not a priority for you because it's not where you live. And I get that. Okay, so now you decide to run. You've been around politics before, right?
I had an opportunity to serve as a county commissioner in 2018,
Okay.
kind of in an interim role. And it really taught me a lot about what's going to be required to be a city councilman. It taught me, I was able to go through a budget process from start to finish. I was able to go to the union negotiating table. I was able to operate under sunshine law. I was able to do planning and zoning land use approvals. I was able to set policy priorities for a local community. And so that 8 months of experience, although it was a very short time, it does give me a little bit, this is a special election. We're filling the remainder of a term right now. And so it does give me that added edge to be able to hit the ground running. I have just enough experience. I haven't been in government too long, but I think it's just right.
Essentially what you said, because I was about to bring that up. This is so weird in my eyes because whoever's running for these interim offices has to put in tons and tons of effort, time, and money just to fill a spot that's so short term. And then you can't stop to breathe because then you got to begin to campaign moving forward for the 2022 election, right? Is that
correct? Yeah.
That's almost crazy to me. Okay? And again, we're blessed here in Port St. Lucie to have some really great people. Okay? And yes, our millage rates are high. There's no disputing that. But you know what? We get taken care of really pretty well by the community, by our people in office. So that's got to be, for lack of a better word, a proud position for you to sit at, knowing that the people around you that you know so well are all going to be benefited by what you can help with. And that's great. Okay, so now you go and you campaign. Campaigning difficult?
It's also a lot of fun though.
Is it?
I put in a lot of hours. So there's sometimes I'll start at 9 o'clock on a Saturday and end at 8 p.m. on a Saturday knocking on doors. But you get to meet people and hear about what's important to them. That people are concerned about trash pickup. People are concerned about about roadways. People are concerned, as we already talked about taxes, but you get that pulse of what's going on in the community, and honestly, I think that door to door is something I would continue if I was in office, because it's so important to constantly stay um, in touch, not just with the people who go to all the community events, but the people who don't,
Right.
and to get a sense of what's going on in the community.
So here's my campaign tip for you. Okay? October 31st is the best time to go door knocking. Okay? You get some candy and you get to talk to people. Best time to go door knocking, in my opinion. Okay, so election is upon us again, and surely we wish everybody who has a stake in this the best. And I don't. What's great is that we live in such a close knit community that everybody's happy with everybody, and that's a blessing, I think. How do people get in touch with you?
Well, there's several ways.
Okay.
772-237-0984 is my cell phone. 772-237-0984. AnthonyBonna.com is my website, and you can email me at anthony@anthonybonna.com. So those are the best ways, and I take calls, texts, emails, and I love reaching out to folks.
Okay, and on a touchy point, if somebody, because it's just the fact of life, if someone wanted to make a donation, where?
They can go to anthonybonna.com, and there's a donate button.
I know
there.
you didn't want to ask, but it's a fact of life, okay? In order to campaign, in order to do what you need to do, you need to raise funds. There's no
Absolutely.
disputing that, and we don't want to, I tell the people come here, hey, FP&L, I can't say, hey, you bake cookies, you brought me in cookies that I can give them to FPL to pay my bills. So that's so important. If you want to help, and you want to help Anthony, go to anthonybonner.com. There's a donate button. Check it out.
Yeah, and $7, $15, $100, whatever you contribute will be a great help to our campaign.
And he might not like it, but any amount that you donate really helps when someone's running and having a campaign, so that they can get into office to do the things that need to be done to help the population that they, I guess, represent would be the word.
Yeah.
Anthony, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, check out anthonybonner.com, and we'll be right back.